From the News Channel 5 Network, this is OpenLine.
Well, good evening and welcome into Open Line. I'm Chuck Long, glad to be along with you for the next hour. Super excited about the show this evening. We're going to be talking about health and fitness. We're going to be talking about health myths, mysteries, misunderstandings. We have our health expert with us, Dyan Damron, is going to be with us for the next hour. And I know a lot of you will have questions and comments, and as always, we encourage you to call in when you have one of those questions or comments, 737-7587, and we welcome Dyan to the show. And we also are very excited, Dyan, you've got a new book coming out.
I do. It is very exciting.
This is terrific. Yep. Don't diet, live it.
That's right.
Okay, so we're going to talk a lot about it later, but what is the theme of the book, would you say, for people just tuning in?
It's basically just that. Stop dieting. You know, we've got more diet products and gimmicks and things out there, but we also have more overweight people than ever. And I was an overweight teen, tried many diets, didn't work, and I just started living a healthier lifestyle, and that's kind of what I've done it. I've stopped dieting and I started living, and that's basically, the book is just my personal stories and kind of how I came through it and how I started living it. And so
I love that. And you've been on the show on OpenLine numerous times, and I've always thought you have such a great philosophy. It's something that people can actually put into work and achieve great results with it. So this is terrific that you have the book that now basically puts everything right here. So this book is coming out Tuesday. Like I said, later in the show we're going to talk more in depth about it. There's so much in this book. This is not about just one particular topic. This has a lot that it covers. It's not overwhelming. I love it. I was thumbing through it. Very excited about that. Now, as you mentioned, when people sometimes look at a person who is in great shape and they think they're just lucky. They've always been in great shape. But you alluded to the fact that you had some weight problems as a teen. So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I grew up athletic, so I was always very active, but was always a little overweight and very self-conscious about it. Through, I guess, college, I lost about 50 pounds.
And that's you right there?
Yes,
okay.
That's me as a teenager. The last one is my high school graduation. And when I went to college, over a couple of years, I lost about 50 pounds. And then I actually went to work. I got a degree in civil engineering and went to work as a civil engineer and worked in corporate engineering for about 10 years. And it's actually this month, 4 years ago, I walked away from my engineering career and started Coach Dyan Consulting, doing this health and weight loss coaching full-time. And I think it's kind of fitting that the book is coming out on the anniversary and everything. So it's just something that, you know, I'm very passionate about, and I enjoy helping people. I've learned how to do it, and I've fought through it. I've struggled with it, so I can relate to people, and I know, you know, again, it's not about a diet, because that doesn't address the behavioral issues that got us unhealthy. So
a lot to talk about, and especially I love the fact that it's very relatable. You have been through a lot of this, and you've come up with a plan for there. We're going to go right to the lines right now. Donnie is on the line with us right now. Good evening, Donnie. Do you have a question or comment for Dyan?
Yeah, that book she's got, she needs to put a DVD out, because there's a lot of people out there that can't read books.
Okay, that's very interesting. That's a good idea. I appreciate that. I've got a website, so I might have to, I'm not as tech savvy as I should be, but I'll have to work that out.
I tell you what, Donnie, another thing that you can do, we're going to be talking a lot about what she discusses in the book on the show tonight, so if you can, stay tuned for the entire hour, and I promise you, you're going to get some great tips on it.
All right, thank you.
Okay, have a good evening.
You too, bye-bye.
All right, goodbye. So that may be the next thing that you do. Go into that. And again, one of the things, too, we're also going to show you, you've got some great exercises. Of course, Rory, you know, Johnston, one of our popular anchors here at Channel 5, he's worked out with you. You've worked out with him, I should say, and you've taught him some great things, and we're going to be showing some of those. So a lot of things that you can do around your home. That's what I love. I mean, it's so simple. You don't have to go to join the gym or some fancy group training thing. You can do it at home,
That's right. I have not personally worked out in a gym in probably 4 or 5 years. Most of my clients don't have a gym membership, which is fine. I mean, it's great if you have a gym membership and are able to use it, but you don't need one. At all.
And we're going to talk a lot about that. Now, one of the things, too, that I love was it helps to sometimes just have kind of an easy way to remember certain diets, or I say certain plans and lifestyles and things like that. You came up with something I think is ingenious. It's called Nerd.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, well, especially I work with a lot of kids, and I think, and kind of going back to my engineering, we had to memorize a lot of things, so I would always put, don't even remember what it's called, but anyways, it's called NERD, which is Nutrition, Exercise, Rest, Daily. And it's just a way to remember, it's not, you can't just focus on one or the other. You've got to have nutrition, you've got to have rest, exercise and rest. And it's every day. Our health doesn't take a vacation, so it's every day.
And that's the thing. And once you can get into the, I would say, habit of approaching it this way,
right.
It makes it so much more manageable.
That's right. And habit, you talk about habit. Whenever we're stressed, we go into habits, whether they're healthy or unhealthy. So once we get into that healthy habit of, getting the proper rest, waking up, eating a good breakfast, planning ahead and doing all that, that's what we will lean on even when we're stressed. We go back to the healthy habits.
Now, one thing too, when you mentioned that you were a civil engineer for over 10 years, you walked away about 4 years ago, this month. Was that scary, walking away from that kind of job into something completely different?
It was extremely scary to be able to rely on a paycheck every few months and just to know that that was coming and to have something very secure. But I also was doing this on the side just for fun and actually not even getting paid for it. So to walk away and pursue my passion, and I kind of I've had good mentors, and to know that do what you love and the money will follow. So.
When you first started this approach, did you go all or nothing, or did you do it little by little? How did you start?
When I lost the weight? It was definitely little by little. It was not all at once. I can remember doing a lot of research, and I would try certain things. And I remember before it was really well known, I was eating a lot of nuts. That's how I started. I was in a sorority, and before we would have meetings, I would make sure, because they were right at 7 o'clock, I think, at night, which is usually when people eat dinner, and I would make sure I planned out my snacks and meals, and I would make little changes every single day. And I run probably 25 to 30 miles a week. But when I first started, and I remember puffing with just maybe running around the track at the gym at school, which was not very much at all.
Right.
And that's where I started. A marathon starts with the first step, and that's kind of how it was. You take it week by week.
One step at a time. I love to, when we're talking a little bit about the nerd approach, when you think of your body maybe as an automobile, you don't want to put the wrong fuel into that tank.
That's right.
And you don't want to do that to your body either.
That's right. I make that connection a lot. Our vehicles require fuel, and nutrition is like fuel for our bodies. If we went and poured Kool-Aid or soda in a vehicle, they wouldn't run, and we're the same way. If we put junk in, you're going to get junk out.
And that's important to remember.
Yeah.
What about the family approach to this? Because a lot of times families just like, well, what's going to work, for my son or my daughter might not work for me, but you tie this all into a family approach.
Yes. I think it's very important to have family support as well. There may be people who maybe have different likes and dislikes and tastes, and you may have allergies and all that kind of stuff, but as long as everybody's aware and supportive, and I think it's super important to get the kids, fathers, mothers, everybody involved in preparing the food. If the kid is old enough to hold a pen or a crayon, they're old enough to be in the kitchen and helping you. I mean, there's obviously heat sources and all that you want to stay away from, but for the most part, everybody has a role. And getting out, exercising with the family, playing tag with the family, just kids will relate to the parents. And if the kids see the parents saying, I hate vegetables, they're going to hate vegetables before they ever even taste them. Or if the kids hear the parents say, I hate exercise, well, then they learn by what they hear first. So everybody being supportive, and it makes it fun. And
it does, and you can continue doing it when that's right. The case. Now, if you're just tuning in, we are on OpenLine. We are talking with Dyan Damron. She, of course, is a health, fitness, lifestyle expert. She has a brand new book we're going to be talking about. Don't diet, live it. I love that. We're also going to be talking, we're going to take a short break, but when we come back, we're going to talk about something that I know a lot of you will have some comments and questions on, and that's health misunderstandings, myths, and things that you hear and you're not sure, is this true or not? We're going to answer a lot of those, and if you have some of those questions too that you've long thought, I don't know about this, jot those down. Give us a call. Get online with us, 737-7587. We'll take a short break. Right back after this.